Hey guys, Jason Bosch here, broker, coach, trainer, leaving you this message the first week of January. This is the first of what I'd like to see become a series of clips that we record in order to help you, the licensee, be more knowledgeable about things California real estate related. Now, some of you are not from California. This may also help because there's a lot of language that encompasses multiple states. And some of you are looking to get your license. So I'm looking also to review a number of the items that you're likely going to be tested on. So today I'd like to go over deeds. And in California, in the test, we have 4 specific types of deeds that you are likely going to be tested on. The 4 of them are a grant deed, a quitclaim deed, a warranty deed, and a gift deed. Now, for some of you that practice real estate, you may have heard a grant deed and a quitclaim deed. You may not be familiar with a warranty deed and a gift deed. That's because we don't use them that much. They're not that common. I'm going to go over the 4, summarize them, and then give you a couple of questions, for example, at the end that you might see when you're tested. Okay. The first one, the common one, the one we use all the time, the grant deed. What is it? It is a deed. A deed is a piece of paper. Okay, this is a deed that we're going to use when an individual is going to grant or convey real estate property from one person to another. Okay, so if I am going to sell you my property, my house or my land or my commercial building, I'm the grantor and I'm going to sell it or give it to you and you're the grantee. Now, the main reason why I use a grant deed is because the grant deed has 2 implied, notice my language, implied warranties to it, implied by me, the grantor. And the first one is that I have not conveyed it, sold it, gifted it, given it to anybody else. That's my first implication. And my second implication is that the property is free of any encumbrances that I haven't told you about. Encumbrances, and we'll talk about these at another time, is anything that can affect my title. Like a lien, right? Something that's locked onto my ownership. A lien or a mortgage or a judgment. Someone has sued me or the IRS is looking for me. So when I grant you my property using a grant deed, when I convey it with that a type of deed, I'm implying 2 things. That I haven't given it to anybody else and that there's nothing wrong with my title. Okay? Number 2, the second type of deed you might see on the test or you might get asked about is a quitclaim deed. And this one is a very simple deed. This deed is not like a grant deed where it has any implications of warranty. A quitclaim deed is where the grantor merely gives up or relinquishes any claim that they have or could have had to the property. They're not really conveying anything. They're really just declaring on a piece of paper, I don't have ownership to that thing. So for some of you lenders or for some of you individuals that do real estate right now, you may have run into that deed. You may have seen sometimes, I've seen it when I was a lender between married couples, husband and wife, or 2 individuals that are married, and for whatever reason, sometimes credit related, one person cannot go on the loan and therefore cannot, or the lender prefers that they do not go on the deed or title. So they're not going to sign a grant deed because there's no implication of warranty. They're just going to sign a quitclaim deed saying, okay, I acknowledge to the world I have no ownership in that property. That's the difference between the 2. And those are the 2 common ones, grant deed and quitclaim deed. Number 3 that you might be tested on, warranty deed. And a warranty deed, for some of you in the other states, you run into this one all the time. In California, it's legal, but we don't really use it anymore. And I'll tell you why. A warranty deed is a deed which specifically expresses warranties. It warrants that I, as the owner, am conveying to you ownership with a certain number of covenants, and the covenants would be listed on the deed itself. Here's the reason why we don't use it in California, because in California, we use title insurance. And instead of me as the owner warranting anything, and if something goes wrong, you later go after me, we remove that liability and we put it on a title insurance company, title insurance policy. So when I give you a grant deed with my implied, which is the deed we normally use, with my implied warranties, if there's something that happened that goes wrong and you lose your ownership, you go to your title insurance company for a claim. So it's not that we cannot use warranties in California, warranty deeds. It's that since we use title insurance, they've largely become unused or uncommon. Okay, the last one is a gift deed. And again, this one's not very common day to day, but you may get tested on it. The gift deed is used when I, as the conveyor or the grantor, am granting you my property. Again, it could be a house, it could be a lot, could be commercial, could be anything real estate. I'm granting it to you with no money consideration. Remember, consideration is payment. My consideration is my love and affection for you. Okay, and yet you're not paying me for the deed, for the ownership, for the transfer, for the conveyance. I'm using different words that all mean the same thing. You're not paying me for it, so I'm gifting it to you. Now, here's where you might see the question. If a person is using a gift to try and get away with not paying a debtor, okay, like maybe in a case of a bankruptcy and they're trying to hide an asset, or if the IRS is after me and I'm trying to gift the house to my kids or siblings or family members so that they don't go after my property, that creditor can invalidate that deed. All right, so those are a couple of, that's where you'll likely see the question on gift deed is make sure you remember that creditors can invalidate it or make it void. All right, so I'm going to give you two quick questions similar to the ones you might see on the test in regards to deeds. The first one is a deed which transfers title to real property but contains no implied or expressed warranties. Which is it? You should already remember. The options are grant deed, warranty deed, quitclaim deed, or all of the above. All right? If you paid attention, you know the answer is quitclaim deed. All right. Another similar type question in this deed conversation that you may see on gift deeds. A gift deed that has been delivered and recorded but could be set aside or voided by the grantor, the future grantee, a creditor of the grantor, or a relative of the grantor. Yeah, a gift deed, remember, could be voided out by a creditor of the person conveying it, of me giving it to you, a creditor of the grantor. All right, hey, I hope this helps. I'm going to try and keep these short. Jason Bosch, broker, coach, trainer, mentor of you in California real estate. If you've got any questions, find me. Give us a like if this was helpful. I'm going to look to give these clips like this on real estate related items and licensed related items every week. I'll see you soon. Have a great new year.